Wyoming. Everything here. We were wondering if there's anything left in the wilderness, but we're here with Uncle Don. Don, how are you?
Welcome to Wyoming.
Welcome to Wyoming. That's a big journey.
Hey, Dan.
What do you have there for goods, Mike? You pack pretty heavy, don't you? Well, here we are. It is the morning of the 7th of September 2001, and we're in Lander. We had a nice steak dinner last night. Our luggage finally came in. We had a kind of a tumultuous flight, but here we are packing up, and we're heading for... Don, quickly give us a quick overview of our plan for the day today.
It's right now 28. Hopefully within 10 minutes we're going to be heading for the Yellowstone south border, which is a little over 2 hours away. We'll be stopping at Coulter Bay, which is just maybe 15 miles south of the boundary, so that we can get a wilderness permit. And then we're all set. We'll load the boats.
Provided we can get all of our worldly possessions on these two inflatable canoes.
That will be the trick.
That will be the trick. See you then. Okay, we're out front Don's house. There's his neighbor put up this satellite disc, which wasn't very nice, but there's his Mustang. There's Don. We're going to pack up. Just want to take a peek at all the stuff. Don, you going to pull out?
Yeah.
We have 2 inflatable boats. And a lot of other stuff.
This is really a pretty area up here. We're approaching this red sandstone formation. And then over on the right, shortly you'll see the Wind River, the gold spot opening in by the river.
Only been on the road about an hour and a half. We got about another hour to go. It's beautiful where we were. However, slight problem is where we're going.
Dan, there's a lookout up here.
Appears to be a little bathroom break here. Looks like we're going into the storm here. Sage, wild sage.
Yeah.
We just entered into Teton National Park. Forest fire here. We've got our permit finally, and we are on our way to camp. Until the Bulos arrive. We have a questionable weather, 20-30 mile per hour winds, lows in the 30s or so. It'll be interesting. Mike wants to check in at the Jackson Resort. Don and I convinced him we're going to push ahead. We'll see if Mike is right. Snake River.
I don't know how far up you can see with that, but you see the hot springs up there?
Oh yeah, there's a hot spring.
And then those, that's the boundary marker, those white stakes. So we're on the edge of the Yellowstone border.
There's Yellowstone over there. We're in Rockefeller National Park and came through Tetons. Don, Mike, and I are wearing all the clothing that we have in the middle of the day, hoping that this evening doesn't bring too unpleasant weather. Now you need to unload the boats, fill them up, and head on out. Okay. The weather's broke. We finally got all our worldly possessions on our bodies and in the boat. We see some beautiful break in the clouds over there. We're hoping that's the weather that's going to follow us here. And then we're going to throw our boats in there, and we're going to go down this bend, at which point we're going to run into one of the more difficult parts of the journey when it comes to rapids. Right, Don?
Yeah, Flag Canyon will be the most challenging part. We get through that and we've got it made.
All right, let's do it. And the number one rule is don't dump.
I don't know, I can't decide if this stuff is going to be okay.
We've been going down some rapids here. Our boat's taking a little water. And so we're just checking our gear before we go into the tough stuff, which is down there a ways. Flag Canyon. And it's also, the weather's changed from okay to somewhat questionable. Well, the weather has definitely turned for the worse. We came down Canyon Pass there, and Mike and I got hung up on a bad old rock under the tip of a log and took in a lot of water. Thankfully, we have a self-bailing boat, so the boat bailed us out. However, we're quite wet and now cold, and we've got a ways to go. Unfortunately, the most unfortunate thing about all this weather is beyond us here
Right there
are the Grand Tetons, which is the most magnificent view of which we can see nothing. We have concluded that there is a resort up here, and being the white middle class tourists that we are, we're definitely
ready to check it out.
gonna check into whatever this resort has to offer. Right, Mike?
Let's see what it's got for us.
Well, we ended up here at a resort off the Snake River because we were cold, wet, and miserable, and are very fortunate to have found whatever the name of this place is. What's the name of this place, Don?
This is Flag Ranch.
Flag Ranch. 150. Best 150 bucks we've all spent.
Between the Flag Canyon Rapids and the rain and the snow, we just got too wet to continue.
It was wet and miserable. The snow was coming in, and the thought of building a tent and fire and whatever in that condition was not appealing. So we're going to go for the pancake special tomorrow and hopefully reload with good weather. Well, here's this little resort, which actually is quite nice considering where we're at and how desperately we needed it. We're going to run down to the river where we had to leave all our stuff to scramble up here and get some stuff dried and hopefully start back tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we are out in the waters. It's early evening, about 7 o'clock. Don's out, gonna do a little fishing on his canoe. Dan's out fly fishing. Beautiful sunset starting to build. I know he's silhouetted out there, but it's still a pretty neat shot. Beautiful. Out here fishing on the Snake River. Early evening. Dan doing a little fly fishing.
That's rescuing us. One more person that's rescued us here. We're heading down to the boats. See down there, Mike.
No, you're taking it.
Take him off, Pat.
Heading down to the river.
Heading down. We're all loaded up. Thanks, Pat.
She knows, Dan, let her, dear. Wave. Wave for the camera.
Van driver.
Yep. We're all loaded up. Driving down to our...
We're ready to go.
We're ready to go. Don, salutations.
There's been a lot of extra luxuries on this trip. We've had a warm shower, getting a ride to the river. We've done pretty well to this point. Now we're going into the wilderness section. It's going to be a little more rugged.
Pat gave us a ride all the way down here to back to the river with all our gear, and we're gonna pack up and head down and look for some fishing. Keep us a little to the right so we don't beat you. Floating down the river, the Snake River. It's just beautiful. Hey Michael.
Hey Dan.
How's it going?
Awesome. Quite the view, huh?
These class 1 or 2 rapids coming up here.
Yeah. What's your idea on how you can store your food?
Well, we got ropes. We're going to string it from the tree.
All right. Because this is we get almost as many grizzly bear sightings as we do get black bear sightings in this area.
Really?
Yeah, this is pretty good.
All the way down to Lizard Creek. I haven't.
Paddle.
Mike, I believe that is the light that we came to find in the middle of the night years ago with Don when we canoed or took our inflatable canoes from Yellowstone, and then we went into this place, and at the time it was closed, and we broke in and waited for Don to come and get us after he bushwhacked back to the road to hitchhike to get the car. Nobody will appreciate that story but Mike. There it is. How many years ago did we do that? What year was that? When we came. To the light. So we paddled to this light all the way. Where that mouth comes in.